Like, did you ever deal with anything like that where you collapsed or kind
yeah.
of collapsed? How did you go? How'd you beat that?
So, I did a video, I want to say 4 years ago. I highly recommend everybody go watch. It's called How to Handle Anxiety and Panic Attacks. And I did this 4 years ago. It's about 28 minutes. Highly recommend everybody watch this. That video is produced 6 months after my panic attack stopped, okay? For exactly a year and a half, I had panic anxiety attacks every single day for a year and a half. One time I came back from a trip. I went on a trip. I went to 14 cities in a 2-week span, and I came back. We went to a restaurant in LA off of Ventura, and I went to this restaurant. I spent time with about 20 guys there till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I come home. I couldn't breathe. So I come home, I tell Jen, I said, babe, I cannot breathe. I don't know what's going on. So I went to the living room and I sat there until I calmed down. I laid on the floor, my body starts bouncing off the ground. She calls the ambulance because she thinks I'm having a heart attack. She calls the ambulance comes in. They put the thing on my chest. They get me in the ambulance. They take me to emergency room. I'm going in there. They're doing all these testing. They put 3 IVs on me. And then at the time they're done with me, I said, what the hell is going on in my body? Was that a heart attack? Because my dad had a lot of heart attacks. They said, no, it's not a heart attack. So then what is it? He says, you're having too much anxiety attack. You have anxiety and panic. Tell me about your workload. How much stress you got in your life? And I explained. He says, well, that's where it's coming from. So now, somebody could be listening to this right now, and depending on how they take this, they're going to react and say, that's why I don't want to start a business.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to put that kind of pressure in my life. That's why I don't want to go out there and work like that. Why would I want to do that? Why is that good for you? I don't understand. Why are they talking about it like this is a good thing? Very simple. If you're watching this right now, or you're listening to this right now on your podcast, I want you to think about it this way. Who do you admire in your life? Who do you follow in your life? Who do you watch on TV on your life? What athlete do you follow? Do you like Jordan? Do you like LeBron? Do you like Kobe? Do you like Trout? Do you like whoever the greatest, Crosby, Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo, whoever it is that you follow? You have to realize these people are not just super athletes. These are people that deal with more fear, more anxiety, more panic than you, because when they lose, hundreds of millions of people see it. When you lose, just your friends and family see it. There's no way it's as close, as big as what these guys have to deal with. So this is one of the reasons why when LeBron first came into the league, if you go watch LeBron's highlights when he was first playing, just type in on YouTube, LeBron James biting nails. You will see they had so much footage of this guy just biting his nails in the game. He was always biting his nails, always biting his nails, always biting his nails. Finally, he came with a routine. So they said, what happened for you to calm your nerves? He says, very simple. I listen to music, and every time before I have a game in the playoffs, I'm reading a book, and I turn off and don't touch my phone the entire time in the playoffs. He stopped looking at his phone during playoffs. 0. He didn't touch the phones in his playoffs because there was a lot of distractions in the news. And he started listening to a certain kind of music. He started taking certain kind of food, and he started reading books. That ritual calmed his nerves. So anybody that's listening to this, what we hadn't learned yet at that time, we hadn't yet learned how to calm our nerves. Once you come out with a formula to calm your nerves, it'll allow you to go through these tough times. So let me explain to you a couple of things on calming your nerves that hopefully this can help for you. This worked for me. Here's what it was.
Yeah.
The moment I see people, because I went and read all these books on anxiety attacks and panic attacks, and I wanted to know what's causing this. If you are depressed or you're down, which is not you, it's not me, this is not our personality. You're not depressed and down. Yours is a different thing I'll explain to you in a minute, and same as mine. If you're depressed and you're down, it's because you're thinking about the past. You're thinking about a past mistake you made that was bad. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. My ex, my this, my that. If you live in the past, you're depressed. Those who have panic attacks and anxiety attacks, they spend way too much time in the future. If you look at Elon Musk's interviews, he's so nervous. He's nervous because he's constantly thinking about the future. He's thinking about hitting numbers. He's thinking about going to the moon. He's thinking about, going into space. He's thinking about all these other crazy things. That puts so much anxiety and panic into his body because he's always living in the future. Every time you go way too much in the future and having anxiety attacks, you got to say, why am I having anxiety attacks? I'm worried about something that's going to happen next week. Stop. What can I do today? Come to today, you calm down. Anytime you're depressed, you're thinking about something in the past. You got to figure out a way to take yourself from future to present or past to present. When you do that and you exercise that with your mind, you calm down and the panic and the anxiety goes away.
Where would you say you are right now in that department?
I am probably 30% in the future is where I'm at.
Yeah.
and probably 30%
So,
the future.
so like people like us, we're always gonna be stuck a little bit in that future.
Yep.
There's no way to stop that, right?
Well, no, when it happens, you got to figure out a way to bring yourself back down to calm your nerves a little bit, because, you know, if you don't do that, you will also not enjoy the journey, and you got to figure out a way to enjoy the process of what you're building. Because if you don't, your spirit is like a gas tank, and you have to figure out a way to refuel it with things that excite you. If you don't do that, eventually your brain starts asking, what's the next thing that's going to get me excited? You got to have carrots constantly. If you don't have that, you're going to be running on E.